Be different because of the calendar being different.
Okay.
You can't use a different meeting invitation. Be different because of the calendar.
But isn't, once it's in, it only applies to one meeting? You can't use it for any others?
That's correct. Well, when I.
You could make
when
it
you asked
recurring.
it, it could be recurring, yes.
Recurring meeting, yeah. You could make a recurring meeting if you want. But the best thing is just to bookmark it, and then it'll always just put the meeting ID number in your calendar, and then just make it a recurring.
Right.
Just make it a recurring meeting, and then you just click on it, and it'll always take you to the meeting. That's the easiest way to do it. Plus, it's on a.
Mine is set as a recurring every Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I copy and paste the link right into the calendar, and it's done.
Right. Yep.
And we also have.
I just use the Tech for Seniors newsletter and click.
Yeah. Hey, I love you, Jim. I'm going to pay you to say that. Thank you, Jim. That was great. You just won a prize. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but yes, thank you.
It's a free ticket to today's show.
Yeah, you get a free ticket to today's show. Well, thank you. It is in the newsletter, and I put it in all the time. Yeah, it's on our website too. There's a button that says go to the meeting, and boom, you hit it, and then it'll take you right to our meeting as well.
If there's anyone here for the first time, this is a chit chat, socialize portion of before our meeting. This isn't included in the recording that we post, but so you're invited, if you haven't been on here before, to introduce yourself to the group. If you have some questions, you can go ahead and ask them. We may have an answer now, or we may say, join us for the Q&A after the meeting, which is also live and recorded.
And we might not give you the right answer, but we'll always have an answer for you, right, Hewie?
Well, you know, when you get into a room that has right now over 40 people in it of computer people, you're going to get 60 or 80 different answers.
Yes, indeed. But we'd often get people from the audience helping us,
yeah, we have some pretty knowledgeable people in the audience.
Yeah, there's some good guys, and we even have that famous guy Jim Gould from Geeks on Tours is in the house today, and he's a real smart guy. So if he'll help us with any questions.
And Chris is always nearby him. Chris is always nearby him, so when he has a question, he can turn to her and say, "What's the answer to this?" So I don't look dumb.
And if we don't know the answer, we make something up.
Yeah.
Well, we all do that.
When the computer itself starts giving you different answers, and it gets rather confusing, like this TPM nonsense.
That was the first.
When I go into Device Manager now, I got a TPM. In fact, I've actually got two of them in there now. It's got this PSP, which does a similar job to the TPM as well, and they're both listed in Device Manager, even though neither of them show up in the BIOS or the UEFI thing.
The first advice that I ever gave anybody about computers is if you go into a store to buy a computer or to look for a computer part, and you're going to talk to the salesperson, you want to go in armed with a question that you know the answer. You ask that question, and if they don't know the answer, most likely they're going to lie to you and make something up, and you'll know it, and then you'll know that asking them any other question is useless.
Yeah, I can still remember the time I went in to buy a pair of speakers at I think it was probably Best Buy or someplace like that, and I was asking the guy fairly technical questions about the SPL levels and all that sort of stuff, and I asked him what the power range of the things. His answer was, "Well, I don't know, but you can turn it up a long way."
Gary, you have a question.
Yes, my first one is for Hewie. Hewie, you did a very nice seminar on that Caesar Shine Ultra scanner. Are you still happy with that?
Be honest with you, I haven't used it in a while, but I'm getting ready for a project that I'm going to use it, and I'll report on that when I work on it. What I'm trying to do is we're going to have a high school reunion, which I may not be able to go to. But what I'm going to do is I think I have a copy of the yearbook and I'm going to scan, we only had 113 in our class. I'm going to scan all of the pictures and put their names on it and then invite each of the members of the class to send a recent picture and put them side by side and put together a production that way. And I'm going to use that Caesar scanner to collect all of the pictures from the yearbook. So I'll let you know how it comes out.
Okay, it's still functioning anyway. That's,
Oh, yeah.
my other question is to the group is, I need something to, like recently I had my booster shot and they wanted to know when I had a couple other vaccinations like pneumonia and whatever, and I don't have a clue. Is there how would you recommend I keep track of these things? And they want to know when I had it, and so I could look at my phone, and because I don't have access to my electronic records. How do you folks keep track of all those different vaccinations and stuff, or medical events?
Apple has just released and has been talking about this. There's a few articles published on our website or on our Facebook page on the in their wallet, is that you can put your vaccinations in the wallet. Now, I don't have an iPhone and I don't do that.
No, I don't either.
I don't know if there's anything in Android. I can't. I'm not sure.
I use Evernote for information. So I just scan pictures of the receipt or information into that and then place it in a folder where I keep all my medical stuff together. I also have a paper port with software that came with something that I had. I think it was a scanner. And so I scan it into that and save it under medical. And then I also, if it's something important, I may keep it in my password manager and have a section of keeping track of stuff like that in my password manager.
Yeah, LastPass has a place where you can put it, so you can put it in LastPass.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's
Gary,
what
do you
I
use
was gonna
LastPass?
say.
Yeah, do you use LastPass, Gary?
I use LastPass and e-wallet from Iliumsoft.
Right. Gary, do you use LastPass?
No, I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, or go ahead.
I just need the date, you know, I know I've had a pneumonia, I know I had a tetanus, but when, I don't have a clue.
I also put together yeah, we see it, Marshall. I wouldn't leave it up there too long. I also keep a text file that lists all my medications, because every time you go to a new doctor or somebody, they want to list all your medications. I just print it out. On that, I put when I get a shot, like I just got a flu shot, so I put that on there and the date. And when I got my shots for COVID, I put it on there. So I've got a record of it on that same sheet. And at the bottom of it, because I think it's a Word document, at the bottom, I put in the footnote, I make it the path of the file so I can always find that file again. And I update it on a regular basis.
I tell them to contact my doctor. That's where my records are kept. I'm sorry.
A lot of times my doctor
there's
asks the same questions.
Well, there's HIPAA, you know, that's private information.
Thank you. I appreciate your program very much. I appreciate all your efforts.
Thanks,
Well, thank
Gary.
you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I had an interesting email from someone this week. They said they wanted to join the Tech for Senior Club and wanted to know what the dues were. So I thought, well, that's interesting. I said, no, we're just kind-hearted people. There is no dues. There is no club. You just come to the meeting
And we don't get paid.
And we don't get paid. Yeah, I said, so
We don't charge you anything either.
Yeah, they said, yeah, we want to join the Tech for Senior Club.
Yeah,
And I
we have
said,
pretty like a
There's
meetup club.
Secret handshake too, you know.
yeah, right.
It's the one that's on the screen next to George's name. He's next.
Yeah, George, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, George
Yes.
from Victoria. Did you freeze down there last night?
Hey,
It got,
Jimmy,
it
we're
got a bit
hearing
cold,
you.
but I stayed indoors. I didn't go out with fireworks.
Hmm.
Ron, as you know, in BC, because we have that socialized medicine, all of our health records, including doctors' meetings and everything, is available for download now from the
BC Health app. Yeah, BC Health app. Yeah.
Health app. And yeah, so the COVID has brought that on for us.
Indeed, indeed. It is available all online. So with the BC Health app. So
And you can download it to your, keep it on your phone too.
yes, and in fact, you can see all your lab reports and X-rays and everything as well.
Yeah,
so,
and even my optometrist appointment was there.
yeah, it's all there. So that's pretty cool. It works well, and so it is centralized and it's all available.
But they'll have to all move to BC to get that.
No,
Uh-oh, Jim's from Alberta. Those are fighting words, George.
Alberta now has had for some time. It's called My Health. Is an app.
Right.
You get the results of lab tests within hours. If you've had blood tests or that, they're on there, and all your records are there as to vaccinations. They've also come out with a QR code for your vaccinations
Oh, that's a good idea.
that you can carry on your phone
Yeah.
or that, and
Hey, great idea.
wherever you go into, they can just scan it with an app that's come out from Alberta Health.
Is that-
Shows you-
Jim, is that one app for all your vaccinations? One QR code that lists all your vaccinations on the one QR?
it lists your COVID vaccinations.
Right.
JJ has got his hand up for some time already.
Go ahead. Oh, just one just before you get to JJ. Jim, are you in Mesa now?
Beautiful 34 degrees Celsius weather.
Okay. All right, JJ, go ahead.
Yeah, I went to a musical theater yesterday, and they required COVID cards and masks. But like I said, when it first came out, I was telling people to put the COVID card, just since you have a smartphone, take a picture of it. I recently purchased a scanner, which allows me to scan it directly my phone into a PDF format. But like I said, and as you were just mentioned, Jim just mentioned, you can create a QR code, put it on your phone or whatever, and would have all your medical information in it, which I keep on my phone. And I also created a QR and put it on the back of my COVID card also.
Indeed, indeed. You would think someone would have a COVID, what would we call it? A COVID app that would display your QR code or something, because it is always a problem. And I asked, where's Jim? I asked Chris about this at school the other day, and I said, I got this QR code, and I want to just have it as an app, or not as an app on my phone, but I want to just have it as a sitting right on my home page where I just click it and it's there. But it isn't. The problem is it doesn't show up because it's not the right file format. It's got to be in a program to show it, right? That's the problem.
Right.
That's
I
the
just
problem.
keep mine in my photos.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but then the problem is I've got it in Google Photos, but then I got to go search all through Google Photos and try and find it. So then I put it in. Don't?
Well,
I put it in Keep. Chris said to put it in Keep. So I put it in Keep, and that works fine for me, but you got to put it somewhere, right?
there are a bunch of different ways to handle the important information on your phone, and we've done a couple of shows on it, and I think there's probably a few articles.
Do you know what? So, could you put in the chat maybe what your recent show was that did that? That'd be great.
Let me do a little search here, and we'll find something. And I might have to consult the expert. She's upstairs in her office listening in, I'm sure.
Hey, Ron, I think Jim mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he uses a widget on Android.
An Android
I
widget.
downloaded a files widget and have a link just to the photos, and it works great.
Yeah, but can you just when you click the widget, does it just bring up the QR, or does it just take you to Google Photos where you have to?
It brings up the QR.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's good. And with Android 12, they just brought out a bunch more widgets. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, it wasn't in that. I had to download it.
Oh, okay. Roberta, go ahead. Roberta, go ahead.
Hi. I've been our neighborhood now has fiber optics,
Mhm.
and they're telling me that they'll give it to me for the same price. Is there any disadvantage other than cost for fiber optics?
No, run, get it quickly. Go for
Yes.
it. Run fast.
In fact, they're giving us $50 to have it installed.
Sign up today. Sign up today. Tell them you want it. Yes.
Send them to my house, would you please?
Yeah. Sign up. Go for it. No disadvantage. Nothing. Go for it.
All right. Well, they dug up the whole street, and for months we had a big mess. All our yards were dug up, so that was the disadvantage. But now that's finished.
Well, a funny thing happened here. This was about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. We had our street completely done, all paved, new concrete, everything put in. But the fiber optic ran down one side. And right after it was all done, the fella across the street from me decided he wanted to go and have it fiber optic hook up. And when the company came down, they said, well, yeah, we'll do it for you, but we have to dig the street up to put the cable across, and they were going to do that at their cost, but we were going to kill them because, it had all the nice street was all done. So he stayed with cable. All
right. I can't remember what to click to get my video going. What do I click?
The camera on the bottom.
Well, it says mute and it says start video. And when I click that,
Start video.
It goes into a start circling the wagons, and I had to log out. I had to completely restart my computer. I couldn't get out of it. I'll try it again now.
There you go.
There
Now
you
it
go.
works.
There you go.
All right. I had to restart the computer. This is my third try.
All right. So we're going to get ready because we're the show's going to start pretty soon. We've got 1 minute left. So I'm going to mute everybody now and get ready to we got a big show for you. So we want to get everybody muted, and you can unmute yourself later on, and then we'll get ready to roll here. It is 9 o'clock. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get going. Tech for Senior, November the 1st. Welcome, everybody. It is episode 84. Can you believe that, Hewie? 84. It is amazing, eh?
Wow.
It is. It is. We've got some, Bob, we've got some noise in the background.
Yeah, I'm looking now to see who it is.
There we go. Great, thanks. Anyway, welcome everyone to a great show today. As I said, we've got lots happening. It's going to be a busy one, and thank you for coming. It is, as I mentioned earlier, this is we do this because we love technology and we thrive on your enthusiasm. So the fact that there are just under 80 people here today is great. As you know, this is being broadcast over on YouTube, so we have two different shows running at the same time. This show will be going for about an hour, and then we'll have a Q&A period for about 20 minutes, and then at 1/2 the hour, we'll be doing our premiere service, which I'll talk about in a minute. Over on YouTube, we'll do it for about 50 minutes, and just before Ray's music segment, then we'll be stopping the YouTube feed, and you can come over here to the and to our Zoom meeting if you want, and we will be and participate in the Q&A. We also have another show that we run on Thursdays. It's called Tech for Senior Live. And this Thursday, we will not be doing it. This is the first Thursday we haven't do it, but we have a scheduling problem, and it just is not possible to do Tech for Senior live this Thursday. So we will be we'll be doing it the following week, and the Monday show, of course, will stay the same. But it's just this Thursday we will not be doing Tech for Senior live, and that will be out in our Tuesday newsletter. And thank you so much to Jim Glass for reminding everybody that we do have a newsletter. It does come out twice a week. It comes out on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And everyone, we have a lot of great contributors, including Bill James. And Bill James has he's going to give us probably a great tip on gadgets for this Tuesday. So be sure and watch for his article coming out this Tuesday, as well as Bob's security talks. So that is going to happen. Let me introduce, before we get to going, I want to thank Ivana this week for her very generous donation to our coffee fund. It keeps the wheels moving. That's great. Thank you, Ivana, very much. And let me introduce everyone today. Hewie, where the heck? Oh, you're down there. How come I'm up top? You're down there. I guess that's...
It's not on mine, so.
Oh, it's not yours. All right.
I'm at the top, so.
Hey, we had a busy week last week.
Oh, we have a busy week every week, Ron, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we sort of do an awful lot, but we had learning Chromebooks last week, eh?
Right, and it's been posted on the website. The video has,
Yeah.
and I sent out a note to everybody who's registered where to find it. But if not, they can just go to the Tech for Senior YouTube channel, and it will be there. And they can watch all the old ones as well if they look at the playlist.
We've got 13 episodes up now, eh?
14.
Was it 14?
Yeah, you called it the 14th in the description. You did a copy paste and said it was the 13th. You need to change that. I forgot.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that. Oh, rats. Okay, thank you.
But it is a 14th. We've been doing that over a year, and we've been doing this almost a year. What, more than a year and a half now?
Yeah. 84 episodes. Well, that's good. Yes. So we, yes, indeed. So it was a busy week. Bob, this is, thank heavens we're past October. That's darn security month. You were just busier than a one-armed paper hanger, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to be quite busy this month too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sarasota's got them this Wednesday night.
Really? Huh.
But I won't be on security. It'll be on one of the products, CCleaner, and the things that you can do with CCleaner that most people don't even realize.
Well, there you
There's
go.
more than just clean up garbage. Yep.
We're looking forward to that one.
Very good. And Ray, is it snowing up in the mountains there?
No, 52 degrees outside and beautiful weather. For me, this is the best time of the year up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it gets down near freezing, but it doesn't really go into freezing, and the days are in the 70s. So I love it.
Very good. Very good. And Bill James, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Oklahoma. What's the weather in Oklahoma? Is it cold there?
Oh, currently we are 48 degrees.
48 degrees.
So it probably, I don't know what the high will be today, but it looks like it's going to rain mostly. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And Dewey, you're soon to be heading to Mesa, Arizona, to a famous resort that I hear is called Silver Ridge Resort, eh?
4 weeks from tomorrow, we fly in. I'm busy trying to book a rental car for 4 or 5 days till my regular car and possessions get there. I should say our possessions.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's yeah. So it's you're going to have a fun year and see what happens, and you'll certainly.
It's going to be quite a year.
It's going to be a lot of changes, eh? Yes.
Did you notice the difference in the price of rental cars?
Oh,
wow! I got some. Yes, I made a couple of calls this morning.
Yeah, and Dewey's segment today is on trucks. He's trying to get me to buy a new truck. I think. Are you trying to get me to buy a new truck? I think that's coming up in your segment.
I can try hard, but remember, you got to get it by your wife, Gail.
Yeah, she's not too keen on trucks right now. All right, so good. Well, that's everybody. Everyone? That's great. I want to just share my screen and show you a couple of things today. Let me just, before we get going on the show, let me just come up here and we're going to do this. And I wanted to show you, let me see, share this. Can you see that, Hewie? Is that my computer
Yes,
stand?
yep.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my new TCL 65-inch TV. And the reason I'm showing it to you today is because it's on a stand. And the stand, as you see on the bottom here, moves around. So we actually can move this around the room here. And the reason I'm telling you this is, well, not only is I'm really pleased with the TV, but most of you either put it on a coffee table or something you mounted on wall mounts, but this is actually a stand. It's got wheels on the bottom and you can move it around. And since most of these newer TV systems that are installed now are all wireless, there's no cables or anything that you have to plug in. So that
you do have to plug it into the wall, right?
Yeah, you gotta have power. But I wanted to just show you the concept of this, and this is a very famous guy was teaching a course, and this is about a year ago, and he's teaching a course. They're sitting, as you can see, in the center here, and you all know that's of course Dewey. Mm-hmm. And in our computer club, of course, we have two televisions mounted on mobile racks as well that you can move around. And so that's where I got the idea. I mean, when we installed this into our club, it's very easy to move these TVs around. And I thought this was a very good application for our home, because in that particular room, we don't always want that television there, and we're only using it for specific purposes, so we can move it around and get it out of the way. So I thought I would just share that with everyone to so that you're aware of that, and that it is an option when you're mounting your television, that you can sort of move it around and you can have it on a mobile unit like that. That's what I wanted to say about that. Bob, are you ready to roll?
Well, let's try it and see if I can find my presentation, because it's not always easy to do.
You do it so well.
No, first I have to find the presentation. Oh, and share my sound. Now let's see what happens. That's the baby I want. Are you seeing? Here is the Avast Security.
You got it. It's good.
Roundup for the week ending October 29th, 2020.
I'm not seeing your screen, Bob.
Well, that's what I wanted to know.
We're not seeing.
So that doesn't work that way. Stop the share. Start the share.
There you go.
There you go.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending October 29th, 2021. 2022, it's predicted that employees will demand remote work. Forrester has released its annual prediction guide, in which it anticipates that 2022 will see an increased demand for employees to work remotely. So much so that 30% of the companies that don't support remote working will see their staff resignation rates rise to 2.5%. Among the many other predictions in the guide, Forrester says that 60% of cybersecurity incidents in 2022 will involve third parties. According to Avast security evangelist Louis Carones, this makes sense. Globalization in technology is a fact, he said. All companies are full of third parties. Every company in the world uses software developed by third parties, which explains all the supply chain attacks we have already seen, a trend that has been growing for the last few years. For more on Forrester's predictions, see ZDNet. Hackers used Pass the Cookie attack to take over YouTube accounts. Google Threat Analysis Group reported last week that cookie theft malware has been responsible for thousands of high-profile YouTube channel takeovers. The scam begins with a phishing email to the YouTube creator where the bad actors pose as a real company and pretend to want to collaborate. If the creator clicks the email attachment, they unknowingly download cookie theft malware to their system. The malware steals session cookies, which allows the bad actor to forego any login requirements and immediately be in the creator's account. Since May 2021, Google says it has blocked 1.6 million of these messages to targets. For more on the story, see the Google Tag Report. FBI issues PSA to warn of unemployment benefit scams. The Federal Bureau of Investigation Internet Crime Complaint Center issued a public service announcement stating that cybercriminals are using spoofed unemployment benefit websites to defraud people of their data. The fake websites promote victims to enter sensitive personal and financial information. Cyber actors use this information to redirect unemployment benefits, harvest user credentials, collect personally identifiable information, and infect victims' devices with malware. The PSA reads, one way users can recognize these scams, the IC3 advises, is by looking for spelling mistakes in the email address or domain name. Other possible outcomes from the scam include ransomware infections and identity theft. Can SQL injection fool speed traps? One tech-savvy driver came up with an inventive way to fool speed traps by taping a SQL injection code to the front of their car. The reason this tactic might work is because the image recognition software used in traffic cameras is completely digital, capturing all characters in the image. In this case, the SQL injection taped to the front of the car is a command to delete the record of the car's license plate. The photo of the car has been floating around the internet for 7 years, but it is unknown whether or not the ploy worked. For more on this story, see Hack-A-Day. Governments drive ransomware gang REvil offline. According to Reuters, after an international operation hacked into Russian ransomware gang REvil's servers, one of REvil's leaders posted, "The server was compromised and they're looking for me." He then disappeared from the internet and REvil went offline. REvil was responsible for the Colonial Pipeline attack earlier this year, which caused fuel shortages up and down the East Coast. The FBI, in conjunction with Cyber Command, the Secret Service, and like-minded countries, have truly engaged in significant disruptive actions against these groups, said VMware head of cybersecurity strategy Tom Kellerman. The gloves have come off. Facebook just revealed its new name, Meta. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced Thursday at his company's Connect event that its new name will be Meta. "We are a company that builds technology to connect," Zuckerberg said. "Together, we can finally put people at the center of our technology, and together we can unlock a massively bigger creator economy." To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, he added. He said the name Facebook doesn't fully encompass everything the company does now and is still closely linked to one product. But over time, I hope we are seen as a metaverse company. Facebook has been under intense scrutiny over the past several weeks after revelations based on damning international documents provided to the Wall Street Journal by whistleblower Frances Haugen. A change in the company policy might have been a better move than a name change. That's just my opinion. Google is giving minors more control over the images that appear in search. Google is trying to make it easier for minors to remove images of themselves from search results. We know that kids and teens have to navigate some unique challenges online, especially when a picture of them is unexpectedly available on the internet. The company said in a blog posted Wednesday, in short, minors or their guardians can fill out a form with image URLs, search result queries, and URLs of search results pages. Google Posts also noted that this doesn't mean the images will be removed from the internet. It only affects the searches. This comes at a time when tech companies are facing increased scrutiny over their effects on kids. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. With the news around COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy and social media picking up globally, we decided to examine whether there was a correlation between where people spend time online and their attitudes toward the vaccine. Follow the link below to discover what we found. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. That's great. Meta, M-E-T-A. Does
it really matter?
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. What is a meta thing? I don't know. Anyway, all right. Okay, listen, let's find out about trucks. I got a feeling that we're going to have some interesting video here. Let's see what Dewey has to say.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is cars and pickups in 2022. Much ado about technology. It's a wonderful time for technology and technologists. That's techies like me and the millions of people who embrace technology and how it's changing our world. I'll focus today on the huge impact of technology on 2022 model cars and pickup trucks, and especially on the growing number of electric vehicle models. But first, Qualcomm is a mammoth American company that's been making the bulk of processors in mobile phones in the world today. While some say they may be losing their grip on the Android phone market, RCRWireless.com reports that they're now very busy building connected automotive intelligence with 5G. In a keynote speech last week, Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon focused on how the automotive world is getting not only faster and smarter, but also more connected using 5G wireless technology, which of course brings both speed and low latency to the mix. Amon drew attention to improvements in self-driving cars and automated driving, and changes like how regulators are increasingly requiring new and advanced technology to improve safety, fuel efficiency, and automation. It's hard to believe, but 2022 also marks the 25th anniversary of the Toyota Prius. I think it was America's first electric vehicle. And it's also the 132nd anniversary of the first ever battery powered buggy in North America. Wonder if you knew that. Now, the Baker Motor Vehicle Company of Cleveland built hundreds, maybe thousands of EVs from 1899 to 2014. In fact, even Thomas Edison and the White House owned Baker EVs. Pictured is a 1909 Baker Suburban runabout electric vehicle. Since I'm on a historical jag, it would be remiss of me to not mention EVs in Europe. Around 1832, think of that, a fellow named Robert Anderson developed the first ever crude electric vehicle, but it wasn't until about the 1870s, 1880s that electric cars became practical. Picture here is an EV built by an English inventor in 1884. It looks pretty sophisticated for that time. Getting back to the future, CNET.com recently carried an excellent report on the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick, a pickup truck in blue oval stable. Although the Maverick is nearly 200 inches long, it's classed as a compact. It's roughly the size of a Toyota Highlander. A hybrid powertrain is standard, making it Ford's first pickup with gas electric power, as well as the cheapest full hybrid by a country mile. Combined with its 94 kilowatt electric assist motor, its 2.5 liter gas engine promises 40 miles per gallon in the city. That's outstanding for a vehicle of that size. Recently, CarAndDriver.com detailed GMC's 2022 Sierra 1500 pickup truck lineup. Last year's 4.3 V6 has been replaced by a powerful 2.7 Turbo 4 engine. Other options are a 420 horsepower V8, as well as a Duramax 3.0 liter diesel. As for technical innovation, the 2022 Sierra pickup has a 12.3-inch digital instrument panel. Wow, think of that. And a 13.4-inch center touchscreen. That's getting to Tesla territory. The gauge cluster is highly configurable, and the updated infotainment system features Google Maps and Voice Assistant, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. A recent article in ReviewGeek.com told of GM's plan to take on Tesla with a new $30,000 electric crossover. Although not available until later in 2022, the new Chevy Equinox EV will compete directly with the Tesla Model 3, which sells for $10,000 to $14,000 US more. Whoops, dropped to zero. GM CEO Mary Barra spoke recently on the importance of technology at GM, saying, GM's vision is one of a world with zero crashes, zero emissions, and zero congestion. We're ahead of much of the competition in electrification, software-enabled services, and autonomy, autonomous vehicles, obviously. 2 days ago, ReviewGeek.com reported Toyota's announcement of its first real EV, the Toyota BZ4X. Wow, that's a tongue twister. The BZ part refers to Toyota's new Beyond Zero sub-brand designation for EVs. This is really news. Whoops. It's Toyota's first all EV in years, and it's packed with technology. The BZ4X is similar in size to a Toyota RAV4, and its range is modestly increased by optional solar panels on the roof. It'll feature several drive modes, 2 large displays, and a DC fast charging system that'll charge batteries to 80% in 30 minutes. Outstanding. Time constraints preclude my covering more of the technology-laden 2022 models. However, I do want to tell you about a very exciting new pickup truck EV that most likely you've never even heard of, the Rivian R1T. I'll share some high points with you about the Rivian R1T in upcoming screens. But for your information, my sources include CarAndDriver.com, TheAtlantic.com, and ReviewGeek.com. Rivian is a 12-year-old American company located in Normal, Illinois. There's a story behind the naming of that town. Tell you about it sometime. It already has orders for more than 50,000 of its pickup truck EVs, but have just manufactured the first 56 units 5 weeks ago. Ford owns a large share of the company. Amazon owns 5% and has 100,000, get that, 100,000 Rivian package delivery electric vehicles on order. Rivian expects production to ramp up as soon and will feature a launch edition starting at $74,145. They'll later offer a more affordable Explore trim level and eventually plan to build a 7-passenger SUV called the R1S. The launch edition has an array of driver assistance features as well as infotainment and connectivity technologies. However, the LE doesn't yet include Apple AirPlay or Android Auto. We're going to have to get going on that. All Rivian EVs have an electric motor at each wheel, which allows what Rivian calls a tank turn. This feature allows the truck to literally spin on its axles. That would be a sight. Rivians will be sold directly to consumers at first, but plans to later set up a network of service centers and Tesla-like stores. GM's new Ultra Cruise, that's cruise control, promises hands-free driving for nearly every paved road. ReviewGeek.com reported recently. GM stated that it was temporarily abandoning, just temporarily, its Super Cruise self-driving feature for an improved next generation version dubbed Ultra Cruise. The new system will use radar, camera, and LiDAR sensors to control acceleration, steering, and braking. Ultra Cruise will debut in 2023 on certain luxury models. I understand the Cadillac Lyriq EV will be one, and be capable of allowing level 2 hands-free driving on more than 2 million miles of paved roads in, quote, 95% of scenarios across the US and Canada, close quote. By the way, level 2 means that there must be a driver actively engaged behind the steering wheel. Doesn't have to be driving, but has to be actively engaged in what's going on. Last Monday, TheGuardian.com featured an article relating that Tesla broke $1 trillion US in valuation after Hertz placed an order for 100,000 Teslas to be delivered by late 2022. This announcement came on the heels of a record quarter for Tesla, in which its Model 3 became the best-selling car across Europe in September. It also added to Elon Musk's net worth, already over 252 billion. I guess that's pretty much, huh? Aside from this Hertz order being extraordinary news for we Americans and Canadians, TheGuardian.com went on to say that it represents another milestone in the European car industry as it prepares for the end of gasoline and diesel sales within 10 years in some markets, some European markets. Also included is a 2035 ban on all internal combustion engines in the UK, where Tesla's Model 3 is already the most popular electric vehicle. My thoughts on the subject: Americans and Canadians will be able to decide their future at the ballot box in upcoming elections. Well, that's my Tech Talk story for today, and I am sticking with it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and the good Lord willing, we'll see you next week.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dewey. I had no idea they had batteries in the late 1800s. That's crazy. You know, they had batteries back then, and wow, that's a blast from the past. Didn't know that.
A little bit unbelievable. As a matter of fact, Thomas Edison helped later design a special battery for that Baker electric vehicle that I spoke about. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's really, wow. Thanks so much. That was great. I'll be sure and have Gail have a watch that video, right?
Good idea. Good idea.
All right, let's see what I've got for you today. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Saving your precious moments. 3 tips for success. Let's have a look. This week I discovered some very special memories that I forgot that I had, and I shared them with my family. Wow, what an experience. This week, while doing a reno in my office, I discovered some very precious videos. I'd forgot that these even existed and shared them with my family. So today, I'm going to give you 3 tips for those lost videos or pictures you want to share with your family or loved ones. Remember, if you like this video, please like it. And if you want to see more like this, please subscribe. Let's get on with the tips. All right, here's my office. On the right-hand side, you'll see my Chromebook on my desk. Next to it, you'll see a monitor with camera number 1 on top. This is my main camera that records. Next to it, to the left, you'll see camera number 2 on another screen, And if you look to the far left, you'll see yet a third screen, but this is on a separate computer. What you don't see is the green screen I used to create the signature feature I put in all my videos. That's how I look like I'm actually embedded in the video. The use of a green screen is complicated and time-consuming. After talking to some professional editors this past week, I decided to use some natural backgrounds, and I'm going to show you how that went today. So in this picture, you'll see a desk with some flowers on this. This is now the natural background for camera number 1. Prior to this, there was, of course, shelving, as you see on the right, that extended where the desk is now. The shelving, of course, had lots of stuff on for the last 20 years. I had to clean this all up and remove half the shelving. What I discovered was this unmarked plastic case that I almost threw out. What I found when I opened the case was videos going back to 1988. Oh my gosh, these are family pictures from my original Betamax camera. These were videos that I must have had professionally remastered or copied onto these DVDs, but I don't remember ever doing it. It was just under 30 years ago, and they sat on my shelf all that time. Within 10 minutes, I'd created my first video and had it uploaded on YouTube. Let me show you what I did. So in 1992, I bought my first Sony camera. As you know, I'm interested in technology, so it was an exciting time. I brought it home, and we were actually at my mother's house at this time, and I'm showing my wife and children how to use this. Well, I appreciate this is just a family video. This is the very first video that I made for our family, and within 10 minutes it was on YouTube and distributed around to people who were interested in it. I'm going to show you a short clip of this. You may be interested to see what I looked like 30 years ago. Let's have a look. Okay.
Yes?
Yeah. Push it.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
To zoom or to go in.
Hi, Joey.
Okay. Knock it.
Oh, I see. And then how do you shut it off? You just push the red button again?
No. Look at those feet though.
So that was an interesting video. I hope you saw my cameo appearance and what I looked like many years ago. And of course, Leslie Ann, who was doing the dancing, now has children that age herself. So they were very precious memories, and within 10 minutes I had that video up on YouTube. So tip number 1 is, of course, you should get the videos or get your precious moments displayed as soon as possible. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube. I spend my life doing video editing, so I'm fast at it. I have a lot of sophisticated software. I know how to edit and upload easily to YouTube. This is the most complex process for most people because they don't do this. And I think a huge stumbling block for success. While YouTube is widely used by many people, it does require a skill set to do this. And it may not be the best approach for most people because you all have special moments like this and you want to share them. So if you can do YouTube, fine. If you can't, let's look at the second way to do this. All right, what I'm going to do here is let's open Google Photos. And we're going to come over here to the right side and we're going to go to Upload. We're going to upload from the computer. And we're going to come and find the file that I had uploaded to YouTube. And this is the file called LA Exercise. We're going to click this, and it's going to prepare to upload it to Google Photos. And now it's uploading to Google Photos. Let's see what happens. So here we see that the video has now been uploaded to Google Photos. The video is 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So if we come up, we can play this, and this is playing from Google Photos. Now from this, we can come up to this little button at the top here that says Share. We can click on this button, and we can either share this to specific people, or we can create a link that we can include in an email and send it out to people. So if I click this link, it will create a link, and I can copy this and embed that into any email I want to send out to my family, and they'll be able to play this as a video. The other thing that you can do is you can post this to Facebook or Twitter right from this menu. You can also share albums with other people. I'm not going to go into this today. I would encourage you to look at Geeks on Tour's website. Chris Gould has many videos on how to share videos and images with your friends. So that was Google Photos, used by most people, but not everyone. Remember, there is the Apple or Macintosh group, which don't always use Google Photos. So let's look at a third option for sharing your precious memories, something you may not have thought about. All right, the third option, which is universally recognized and probably the easiest to do, is Facebook. Facebook is, of course, going to be called Meta, but I'm still going to call it Facebook because I can't remember that. So within Facebook, you have Facebook groups. And Facebook groups is a very powerful feature of Facebook that will allow you to create a group of people and post your videos. Let me just show you how it's done. Here you'll see my Facebook page, and we're going to come over here on the left-hand side, and as you come down, you'll see it says Groups. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Groups, and we're going to create a new group. We can give it a name. We'll call it Brown Family. And then we're going to choose our privacy, and we're going to make this a private group. Now, the goal of this topic today is to share your special moments with your friends. We're not doing something secretive, but it's unlikely most people will want to look at family videos. So I think it's fair to have this as a private group, and we're going to put a password on this so that you need a password to have access to the group. And once you create the group, then it's very easy to upload your videos to that specific group. And that is a very easy way of sharing your loved moments with friends and family. What I'm going to tell you is you may have your opinion on Facebook, whether you like it or not, but most people have a Facebook account. So I think this is a good option for sharing your memories, and it's very simple to do. Saving your precious moments. Facebook. Pretty much used by everyone. Easy to use. You can upload your videos, create a group. They even have the Facebook portal, which is a tablet that allows easy sharing of your information. Google Photos. Easy. Mostly used by everybody. And then there's YouTube, which is universally accepted, but more difficult to do. So those are the 3 tips I have for you today. Remember the like and subscribe. Until we meet again, Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. All right, there we go. Hewie, are you around?
I think I am. And I should be ready to go in just a second. I do want to preface this by saying that I am starting something a little bit new for me, and it's called weekly websites. And it may not be every week, but I'm still calling it weekly websites. So this is number one. And before I could even do it, I had some explaining to do. So it's also got some other things built into it. So let's take a look.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
Before we look at this week's website, let's talk about graphics, specifically image formats. There are hundreds of image formats. We're going to be looking at the most used. That's JPEG or JPG, PNG, GIF or GIF, depending on how you want to pronounce it, SVG, and WebP. JPEG is a lossy compression specification that takes advantage of human perception. It can achieve compression ratios of 1 to 10 without any perceivable difference in quality. Beyond this, the compression artifacts become more prominent. Because JPEG compression works by averaging out colors of nearby pixels, JPEG images are best suited for photographs and paintings of natural scenes, where the variations in color and intensity are smooth. However, if an image contains text or lines where a sharp contrast between adjacent pixels is desired to highlight the proper shape, this lossy compression technique does not yield good results. PNG is a lossless image format using deflate compression. No data is lost during compression, and no compression artifacts are introduced in the image. For this reason, a PNG image would retain higher quality as an image than JPEG and would look a lot sharper. It would also occupy more space on the disk. This makes it unsuitable for storing or transferring high-resolution digital photographs, but a great choice for images with text, logos, and shapes with sharp edges. GIF is also a lossless image format that uses LZW compression algorithm. It was favored over PNG for simple graphics in websites in its early days because the support of PNG was still growing. Given that PNG is now supported across all major devices, and that PNG compression is about 5 to 25% better than GIF compression. GIF images are now mainly used only if the image contains animations. SVG, or Scalable Vector Graphics. Defined in a vector graphics format, SVG images can be scaled in size without loss of quality. SVG images and their behaviors are defined in XML text files, which means that they can be searched, indexed, and scripted and compressed. As XML files, SVG images can be created and edited with any text editor, as well as with drawing software. The most used web browsers render SVG files. If your club or organization has someone develop a logo for you, you want to make sure you get an SVG file to go along with other files like JPEGs or PNGs, because it will be easily scalable for anything that you want, whether it be a small icon or a very large picture or part of your stationery. WebP is superior to JPEG for lossy compression of photographs. It's superior to PNG for lossless compression. Disregarding all the recent buzz, WebP is actually quite old. It was first announced back in 2010 and has since been upgrading and improving until its current state. It's become a popular topic lately as it pulled ahead in the next-gen image format wars, As of this writing, it's supported on Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Opera, and the most recent Safari. iOS 14 and above supports WebP. WebP has faster loading times, less media storage, and transparency and animation, but it's not supported by all browsers, and the quality is still reduced. So the summary of the major image formats, and this is a good chart that kind of compares them. And here is another chart comparing whether it's lossy or lossless. Notice GIF has a maximum of 256 colors. So let's get started with this week's website, Clean PNG, and it's at www.cleanpng.com. Today's website is Clean PNG. When you look at it, you're going to say, well, what does this website do? Well, it's a library of transparent PNG art at your fingertips, as they say, or for you to download. If you wish, you can also upload your own to share with other people. Just looking quickly, you can see some of the featured PNGs that are on the front page. And as we come down here, you'll see some topics that you can search on and then search more. So there's a whole bunch of topics. These will be added to and changed by season, but you can click on any of them. You can search the PNG for whatever you'd like. So let's try Elder. Sometimes Senior finds some things, Elder is another, but let's go ahead and by searching for Elder, came across one picture here that I like. It's an elderly couple. I'll click on this, and this is what the picture looks like. See all these little squares in the background? That means it's transparent. That's going to show up as whatever's in the background of whatever you're putting it on top of. Now, that sounds confusing. Well, I pretty much showed you everything there is to know about Clean PNG. You can search on different topics. You can do all the searching that you want. When you're done, you can say, okay, I want to download. So you just click the download. And you can see that it downloaded. Now what I do is I go ahead and I right mouse click down here at the bottom. Now I'm in Chrome. I say show in folder. It will show me that file that I just did. And then I will also open up a folder. And in this case, it was here. So I have this, and then all I do is right mouse click and drag it over, and I'm going to copy it here. However, since I've already done that, it'll just say, what do you want to do? And I'm going to say, go ahead and skip it. But that's how I know where the file is. So we're going to minimize this. We'll minimize this. So now it's all there is basically to the website. You just look around, find whatever PNGs that you want to use and download them. Then when you're ready to go use them, you can create a graphic for your Facebook page, or a tweet for Twitter, for a website, a newsletter, whatever you want. You can do it very easily by utilizing some of these graphics. Now, let's do an example. I'm going to show you a bonus website. It's a photo editor called Pixlr, Pixlr.com. And I am using the E version, which is the photo editor. This is just as an example of using any editor to use one of these transparent PNGs. So what we're going to do is create a new picture. We're going to make it 1920 by 1080, and we're going to say go ahead and create. So we now have a blank picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up an image, and I am going to use this image, and there it is. Now I want to take that picture, so I'm going to go to a file and open image, and I'm going to find this couple and say open, and it opens it in a different drawing. And now, so what I have to do now is to go ahead and edit. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to move back over to here, and I'm going to say paste it. Oh, now it's very big, obviously. So what we need to do is move it down a little bit. We're going to resize it, and I got to keep it enough on the screen that I can keep doing this. So let's get it down. Now, why is the transparent nice? is, well, with transparent, you can see all of that background instead of being white. It looks like it's a decal of the couple on the back of the computer. I can save that picture. If you don't want a picture, you can just do a background, open a new image. We'll do that again, create. We'll this time give it a color, make it blue. And now we can take any other image, copy it all. And what we're going to do here is we're going to paste, and we can come here. We can now make that larger if we want, move it over. We've got a nice picture with a blue background. And so it's now transparent and it looks very nice on this blue background. In essence, that's all I want to show you today. So you've learned 2 new sites. You've learned Clean PNG and Pixlr. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Thanks, Hewie. That's great. This is going to be, I look forward to next week. It's going to be great. Yes. Super. Thank you so much. Just before Ray gets ready for his music segment, I want just to, and also I'm going to be saying goodbye to our YouTube people. I just want to remind everyone about 1:30 when our premiere service will start. This week, Ray is going to be talking on Microsoft Sway. Remember your talk on that, Ray?
Yes, but vaguely.
Vaguely.
I might watch it again to see if I can learn something new.
Yeah. And then Dewey's going to give us another update on Print Friendly, which is one of my favorite. I use that all day long. And then Hewie is going to talk on Poster My Wall. Now, Hewie uses Poster My Wall all the time, and it was a great video. Remember when the one you did on that, Hewie?
And not only that, using the transparent PNGs, you can bring them into Poster My Wall and use them all day long, and it really makes for good posters and flyers.
So that will be 32A is the number, and I'll be showing everyone just to remind you at the beginning of the Q&A just how to get there. But please watch that today. That will be on at 1:30. Thank you for coming, those of you over